water with me on stage, I almost fainted. So for the good of everyone, I will occasionally be taking water breaks. It's not exactly easy talking for 2 hours while standing on your feet. So, welcome everybody to the second town hall. I'd first of all like to thank all the wonderful fools who are hosting us here. It's such a wonderful space full of history. Big applause for them. It's truly one of the great spaces one of the great 99s in Los Angeles. It's really honored to be on this stage. And it's a real honor to be working with wonderful theater companies like the Sacred Fools folks. So big ups to them. All right, this is a town hall. This is the second town hall of 2017. This is my 8th second town hall. You think I wouldn't need these, but I do. The agenda today, we are talking about marketing your show, and everything that goes into that. Hopefully a lot of you checked out our workshop that we just had, which was absolutely fantastic. You get to hear from people who have actually done Fringe shows, unlike me. People actually, unless you count the opening night party, people who have actually done Fringe shows, you get to hear from them. So if you didn't get to see that, then go to our YouTube channel, search on HollywoodFringe.org, Hollywood Fringe on YouTube, and you'll find it. And you'll find the whole series of workshops and town halls. I'd really suggest you check out that last town hall. You get to hear from the real veterans who've been in the trenches and what's worked and what hasn't. So today, I'm going to give you some pretty broad advice from what we've seen on the Fringe staff work and not work. And I'm going to tell you about all those wonderful deals that we'll be offering you as a part of your Fringe registration and how you can leverage them to great Fringe success. So just to let everyone know, that's Fever. This is being recorded. You've all just given your consent. Okay, great. so thank you very much for that. After this, you're all invited to a mixer at the 3 clubs. Does everyone know where the 3 clubs is?
Oh yeah.
Very good. Right? Just follow the herd to the 3 clubs. It's slightly more obvious than it was 5 years ago when it was that cool place that didn't have a sign and you just sort of had to know it was there. So have a seat, please. I will embarrass every once in a while. So please join us there. There's a happy hour. We have wristbands. I think I'm supposed to give you wristbands before you leave, so come hit me up for one as you're leaving if you want to go over there, and I'll give you one. First of all, I'd like to know this is our first event post-registration deadline. Congratulations. I'm sure everyone here is registered. If you're not, talk to me. We'll try to figure things out. Raise your hand if you are a participant registered for the Hollywood Fringe Festival 2017. Raise your hand if you are a participant who might want to still register for the Hollywood Fringe Festival. All right, there you go. Raise your hand if you're a venue. 1, 2, venue. No, did you have a venue? Not if you are. We have one venue here tonight, and you have some slots available.
I do. Is anybody here still looking for a space? Are registered and still looking for a venue? My woman's done.
Well done. Thank you, Matt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well done, guys. Well done. I'd also like, as I welcome you, I'd like to look into the camera right now and welcome everyone at home who's watching this on their mobile devices, on their computers. I feel your energy here with us today, and we all welcome you. Let's give an applause to everyone who's at home. The big thing, we're going to talk about a lot of deals today, and you guys are going to feel like you need to write down everything I say. But here's what I'll tell you to save some cramping and finger cramping and pencil cramping, is that almost everything I'm talking about tonight can be found in typed out PDF slick form if you go to hollywoodfringe.org/participants. You will hear me say that URL 17 or 18 times tonight, so go ahead and write it down, hollywoodfringe.org/participants. That is our 2017 participant packet, news you can use, as well as deals, I don't know what rhymes with deals, that you can use. There are deals you can steal, right there. So check that out. It was literally published 60 minutes ago. The Fringe staff has been working to get it done for this deadline so we can announce it today. There's a lot of work that went into that. There is millions of dollars in savings for you that you can get in there as well to help you get the word out, to get the marketing out, to get photography for your show, to get video for your show, to get ads and programs for your show. They're all in there to help you have that professional edge. And if there's one thing that anybody in a festival full of 300 plus shows needs, it's an edge. So I would say definitely take a look at that. It'll help you stand out as a truly professional contender for that next great sleeper hit at the Hollywood Fringe. Okay, I'm going to talk about some dates. April 1st. Huh? Yeah, I'm taking you out on a date right now. Congratulations, you win. You get to go on a date with me. April 1st, everyone knows about this one because it's in the past. That's when registration closed. April 15th, very important date. Burn the April 15th date into your mind. That is the date of two very important things. Number one, on April 15th, your guide listings are locked. Meaning that if there's a misspelling, if there's an improper performance, that's what's going into the guide. You will get emails from us, like over and over again, say check your guide listing, check your guide listing, because you don't want to be that act that first gets their nice little guide, they're flipping through, they find their show, and they're like, yeah, everything's wrong. That's very, very bad, obviously, for your marketing efforts, because a lot of people use the guide to determine what they're going to see. So be, with a fine-tooth comb, look through that, make sure it's right. If it's not right and you don't know how to fix it, email us at support@hollywoodfringe.org. Okay, number two, April 15th, number one, guide lockdown, guide listing lockdown. Number two, as most of you I hope know, what you don't get with your registration is a pretty picture. You get a text-based guide listing. You do not get a pretty picture. And I know, because you've been listening to what everyone's been saying at the town halls and workshops, you know that an image, a defining image for your show is incredibly important. So I know you've all been working with graphic designers, your cousin Bob, who knows how to use Photoshop, that sort of thing. You've been working with him. Is my fly open? No. Okay, good. Paranoid since kindergarten. My fly was open. Okay. And then again, the graphic design perspective, you know how important that is. This can also be your ad. You slap some dates on it, you make it look nice, you put it in the guide, and that's how you get your fancy picture in the guide. Now, all guide ads need to be submitted by April 15th. It's almost like we have some sort of print deadline coming, such that we need to do these sorts of things. So, as I say, we do not have Harry Potter paper yet. What we actually print stays printed, defined in indelible ink. So, I strongly suggest that everyone's A, checks your guide listing, and B, if you're interested in doing an ad, which you should because they're extraordinarily cheap, trust me, they're cheap as hell for you guys. April 15th is when you need to have that submitted. Okay, everybody knows about April 15th, which is good because it's obviously important because I talked about it for 5 minutes. May 1st. Anyone? May 1st?
May Day.
May Day. Tickets go on sale on May 1st. You probably know this when you look on the site. You see everywhere when people try to buy tickets to your own show, tickets go on sale on May 1st. And that's when it all happens. Town Hall 3. Excuse me, I missed one. We're also on May, here we go, we already did that. Right, okay, we're good. April 24th, I'm gonna go back in time for a second. Workshop number 3, Festival Expectations. These workshops are fantastic. It's not just me talking to you about what I've learned, it's a whole panel of veterans. So I strongly encourage you to go to the workshop number 3 on April 24th at Studio Stage. If you go to hollywoodfringe.org, it's right there on the front page, all the stuff that's coming up next. I strongly recommend the workshop, definitely go. And Town Hall 3 on May 1st, the day tickets go on sale, if you've been paying attention. Here, again, Sacred Fool's main stage, we're going to be talking about ticketing, exciting, and apropos, and we're going to talk about festival prep. This is the last town hall of the season. We're going to be talking about what you can expect. So if you are scared, nervous, justifiably so maybe, this is one of those opportunities you can come and you can ask your questions and we can kind of give you an idea of what you can expect in the festival ahead. Everyone's going to have a fantastic time. if you're prepared, and everyone knows about this, theater's about preparation, right? So if you're prepared, you have that's a fantastic time. If you're not prepared, it's going to be entertaining to everyone else. I've seen some of the most disastrous first performances in the Fringe you could possibly imagine. And it's entertaining, but not necessarily for the right reasons. So preparation, and that's from obviously a production perspective as well as a marketing and producing perspective. And we're going to be talking about the producing stuff on that last town hall on May 1st. Workshop number 4. Okay, this is one that last year not a lot of people went to, but this one's utterly fantastic. This is how to tech your Fringe show. Okay, you might have been through techs before. You have probably not been through a Hollywood Fringe tech before. They are a unique beast because there's a lot of in, out, get your shit done and leave as if you don't leave a trace. Two guys who I trust from a tech perspective in Fringe more than anyone else I know, Corwin and Brandon are there. They've teched hundreds between them of Fringe shows. They know what the deal is. So that's workshop number 4, how to tech your Fringe show. Sacred Fools, right here again on May 15th at 8 p.m. Okay, now we're closing in. June 1st through June 6th are previews. Yes. And if you haven't booked a preview performance yet, obviously there's still time. There's still time to even get in the guide. We all suggest that you guys book preview performances so you can sort of do a soft launch of your show. You can invite friends and family. There's going to be press walking around, and also it's a great opportunity to start building that word of mouth, right? And it starts there. So suggest you do a preview. As I said, not too late to book one. June 7th, there are no shows because June 7th is the opening night party. The opening night party is the biggest theater party in Los Angeles of the year. There were 800 people there, and it was not loud at all. It was the quietest party full of 800 theater people that you've ever seen. So yeah, it's loud. But it's fun, and we all have a great time that night. We're all a little nervous. Fringe staff and venue staff included, I'm sure. And so and you get to see Fringe Central for the first time. That's June 7th. June 8th through the 25th, I'm on vacation, and then, no, that's the best. I'm not on vacation, Cameron. That's June 8th through the 25th, that is the Fringe Festival. A couple of announcents that no one has heard yet, so you guys get to be the first one. This is the first of the several announcements that just because you're here, you get to hear it first. 6/14, that is the first Wednesday of the festival proper, is a Fringe party tradition since 2013 called the Fringe Runway. For those of you that have fancy costumes in your show that you want to show off in a runway style, this is your opportunity. Yes, so it's a lot of fun. It's a really terrific event. It's really taken off in the past few years. And it's a lot of people go, a lot of people get to get, you sort of, if you have a costume, if you have that edge with really cool costumes, this is an opportunity for you to show them off and perhaps pick up a few audience as well. And of course, a Fringe tradition since 2012, the one, the only Fringe prom is 6/21. Last year we had a Purple Rain prom, which was really nice for obvious reasons. And usually we do some form of survey on Twitter as far as what the theme should be. So you know, 6/21 is prom. There will be karaoke as well. Live band karaoke, I might add. And then, so if you ever wanted to sing with a real rock band behind you, this is your opportunity. It's not the same as going into a mic talking too slow. June 25th is the last date I'm going to mention because that is the awards ceremony, which is the fanciest night in Fringedom. We're going to be at the Montalban again this year. It's going to be a fancy sort of ordeal. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I invite everyone obviously to come back, especially if you're nominated for something. It's probably a good idea that you go. And the closing night party where we all say goodbye and teary, and I usually leave early and fall asleep. That is June 25th. Okay. Those are dates. A blanket reminder to everyone at home and in here, please book your performances. There are some of you, and you know who you are, that are registered but don't have any performances booked. or at least don't have any performances on the site. This is obviously bad. So you have until the 15th, so all of you at home and all of you in the room, go make sure, check that guide listing, make sure you see performances. Pro tip, if you check your guide listings and you don't see any performances, that's bad. And maybe you should do something about that. And if you're freaking out right now, at home or in the audience, support at HollywoodFringe.org. We will help you book your show. Okay, and I'd also like a little bit of announcement that's really good for all of us. We just got a $50,000 grant from the California Community Foundation. And we love them. And we love them. So all of you James Irvines and Annenbergs out there who are probably watching this right now, meet these people. You're next. Okay, fantastic. All right, now, someone's going to ask this question. Well, Greg Crafts isn't here, so maybe not. Someone's going to ask this question at the end. Where is Fringe Central this year? The good news is that very, very likely we'll be back at the space formerly known as the Dragonfly this year, with major renovations that have been going through because they're under new management. And we're going to have access to the entire space, not just one side of the space. So it should be a really nice environment. For those of you who don't know, if you are facing south and you are in front of the complex in Santa Monica, it is there. So complex, Hollywood sign, Dragonfly, and that's where Fringe Central will be. We'll talk a little bit more about Fringe Central later. Let's talk about it now. What is Fringe Central? Fringe Central is the social epicenter of the festival. And because we're ultimately a social, community-based festival, it's become a big deal year over year. It's the place where you go after your show. It's the place where you go between shows. It's a place where you have a beer and you see other people that are also, or a juice, whatever, and you see other people that are working on the shows. We always have food trucks there almost every night, so it's and they're fancy and different every night. So it's an opportunity to eat food, which is probably something that we should all be doing, that we sometimes forget during Fringe. And it's where all the parties are. It's a great place to meet other professionals. Since the first year, when we were in this tiny little cage about the size of this for Fringe Central, it's been a ground where people meet other professionals and they create new relationships that literally lead to a partnership show the next year. People who meet in Fringe Central, people who've met in Fringe Central got married, just pointing out that. And some of them even met there. But yeah, there are married people at Fringe Central. But like literally relationships bloom professional and personal. It's a wonderful experience. It's one of our favorite things that we do during Fringe. So that's what Fringe Central is in any case. A little side note on Fringe Central. Yes, we do have a bar. It's called Brian's Bar. It's a famous watering hole for the Fringe. And we do this promotion for our participants where you can sponsor a drink, right? So for $100, you will have a big sign that says tonight's sponsored drink is by so-and-so show about clowns and paint. I don't know why I keep using that as an example. So that's the Painting Clowns, and it's called the Stripey Makeup Drink or something like that. And you can name the drink and you can say like what the major ingredients are, and our crack team of mixologists behind the bar will make an amazing cocktail for you. It's another way to promote your show. I don't have a link to give you right now. In the coming weeks, we will be sending out a link and for people that want to actually do this thing and want to promote a drink. You can make a lot of fun out of it. So that's an opportunity for people. It's also the home of Fringe Cabaret. I'm only going to tease this cabaret bit right now, which our cabaret manager loves the fact that I'm using. I'm teasing the cabaret. The idea of it is if you have a cabaret-friendly show, think not King Lear, something a little lighter, something a little more songy, dancey, something a little more funny-ish. You can put a small segment of the show, like 5 minutes, up on stage at Cabaret in front of the crowd at Fringe Central. It's increasingly popular year over year. It's a lot of fun. If you have a cabaret-friendly show, this is an opportunity for you. So also keep an eye on your email. As always, we'll be letting you know about Fringe Cabaret as soon as spots are available for you guys to book. Okay, let's go into the festival marketing really briefly. I want to get to the end so people can ask questions, because I imagine some of you might have them. What do we do? What does the Fringe organization do? We have a very large budget. Most of our budget goes towards marketing. It's unsurprising. And we get fantastic rates because we're a nonprofit. We've been around for a while. And we've created all these relationships, and it's wonderful. So the total value of what we do is significantly higher than what we actually pay even. Number one, most importantly, for you in this room right now, is the printed guide. We print 10 to 12,000 guides every year. We distribute them around Los Angeles and very much around this general area during the Fringe. It's a gorgeous booklet printed by this man right here, Peter Finlayson from Footlights, our sponsor. Fantastic. It's a beautiful booklet, and I'm really, really proud of it every year. It's something that obviously takes quite a lot of time. It's like the Bible of Fringe. Obviously the website, which takes, a fair amount of work, we push that out. Every year it keeps going up and up and up. We got like 1.2 million hits during June last year, and it keeps going up and up and up. So strongly encourage you to promote your Hollywood Fringe Festival website homepage. It gets a lot of traffic. Trust me, I'm watching the numbers bounce around. Everyone's favorite marketing effort, however, are the pole signs. And pole signs are those things on the side of the road. Why are pole signs cool? Because you're a participant, you're walking around, somebody you want to impress in the car next to you, and you look up and you're saying, they're like, oh, that's the Hollywood Fringe Festival. And you're like, yeah, I got to show them that. And you feel like a badass, okay? So lining up and down the road, or generally where people that we think go see theater might live or commute around, that's where you will find the pole signs, and they go up in the month of June. You will see them, and you will think, I am awesome. So think about that. Social media. Has anyone heard of this thing called social? Obviously, I don't insult people by explaining to you what social media did like I did in 2010. People were like, what? How do you use that? Facebook? It's blue. No, but obviously, it would be remiss in not mentioning the fact that free media, free advertising is the best sort of advertising. Hashtag HFF17, hashtag LATheater, LATHTR, are your friends, because that's where the theater crowd, the Fringe crowd follow on a regular basis. So post on Twitter. If you don't know how, grab someone and have them teach you how to use Twitter. It's been a great marketing effort. Everyone knows about Facebook. The thing about Facebook these days is, unlike when we started in 2010 and 2012, they introduced pages or something like that, and you used to be able to post on your page for free, and everyone who followed your page would see your post, which sort of stands to reason. That's not the way it works anymore. Now, you literally need to promote every post. We have, whatever, 10,000 followers on Facebook. If I post something on our page without promoting it, 5 people see it. It's a joke. You need to pay for a Facebook post now. The good news is it's not that expensive if you have a reasonably sized list. But I would say posting on Facebook page without promoting is just a waste of finger time. So I would say take a look at that, work a little bit of that money in your budget. It's not a lot of money. Radio, okay, so that's social media. Everyone got that? Yeah, you can start a blog. Yeah, you can write on your Tumblr. Instagram has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger of late. And hashtag HFF17 on Instagram, absolutely. If you just start following that now, you'll see already that that's starting to blow up. So everyone loves their Instagram. Snapchat, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm too old to talk about these things now. So grab someone who knows about Snapchat better than me and have them talk to you about it. So that's social media, obviously very important part of the marketing mix. Radio is something that we do. So it's either KPCC or KCRW. Okay, first of all, for folks, we're going between KPCC and KCRW. It's going to be one or the other. We've done advertising on both. They're both NPR affiliates. Now, for those of you that listen to NPR, if you think we should do ads on Scientific Poll, if you think we should do ads on KPCC, raise your hand. Okay? If you think we should do ads on KCRW, raise your hand. Okay, good to know. We did KPCC for a long time. We did KCRW last year. Great unscientific poll. Sorry for the KPCC guys. You must hear them. You're the talk guys, right? And they're the music people. That's what. Okay. So radio, one of those will have our spots on it. Fringe TV. Fringe TV is our YouTube channel. This is Beaver, the director of Fringe TV up here. We do segments, fantastic segments on a regular basis. We do interviews. We walk around and do bits on what's happening at the Fringe. We do bits on how to be a good audience member, how to treat your bartenders in a funny sort of way, stuff like that. We're producing all the way through the Fringe from now on. Obviously, this particular production you're all a part of right now is a Fringe TV production. Keep checking it out. We'll post everything on social media. You can always go to our YouTube page to check it out as well. And then there's our wonderful partners that we market through. We've got partners all around town. They're all fantastic, some of the best people in the theater world, and we market to them as well. We do trades and the whole thing. And then other opportunities, literally opportunities come for us all the way through. So anyway, that's sort of an overview of what we do on our end. So let's talk about what you can do on the show level. We talked about Fringe guide ads. They are heavily discounted for you. Quarter-page ads start at $125 for participants, which people in the printing industry would call a joke price in solo. So $125 is where it starts. A full page will cost you $500, which is really not bad for getting a full page in the Fringe guide. I will say this for the printing staff, please check your dimensions. They are listed there. Like we get a lot of improperly formatted files that we have to go back and work with a pain in the ass. So like look at the dimensions in the beginning. Say this is X pixels by X pixels. And if you have a graphic designer, they will know what the hell you're talking about when you say these are the dimensions. So important stuff will save you time, will save us time, it'll be great. You can buy these ads at hollywoodfringe.org/market. That's where these ads are available. And one little bit for those of you who sweat the famous back cover of the Fringe guide, or the almost famous inside front cover, or the sexy centerfold, these will all be available via auction. We want to be fair, we want to give everybody this. So keep an eye on your emails. We'll tell you when the auction is. If you're interested in one of these premium placement guide ads, they are all available this year. So the back cover, as of right now, is up for grabs. And the back cover is obviously the best advertising you can get in the Fringe-averse period. So think about it. We talked about guide listings too. Things to check, your title, your prices, the description of your show, your dates, the venue and space name, the duration of your show. Make sure your duration is accurate, because people get pissed off. Because people, they line up the Fringe shows they want to see, right? So if you say it's a 60-minute show and you go 7 to 5, you're going to have people walking out of your show noisily in a pissed off sort of way, because they have another show to get to that you're making them late for. So be conservative about your actual durations and honor them for the sake of your venue and for the sake of the people coming to see your show. What's in the guide for your duration needs to be your duration, or you're going to have word of mouth problems, which is something you don't want. You want word of mouth excellence, not word of mouth problems. Your flags, like everyone's includes nudity, seems to attract some people. Family friendly, please don't check both family friendly and includes nudity. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Age requirements, also, like, think about it a little bit, your age requirements. If there's the pantomime of a gun, maybe 13. If there's blood spurting over dead, naked bodies, maybe 18. Just throwing that out there, think about it. And yes, and there's instructions there. So if to check, and you should be getting emails on this. Go to your project page, go to admin, which is a tab all the way to the right, and then check the tab that says guide listings. What you see there is exactly what you will see in the guide. And make sure that it's correct. Fringe online ads, so on the website. These are very inexpensive, and you pay by impression blocks. Okay, what is an impression? This is the question we get every year. So we say X amount of dollars for 10,000 impressions. An impression is a human being going to a page on the site and seeing your ad. That is an impression. So if you buy 10,000 impressions, you were buying 10,000 pairs of eyes seeing them. And every time a pair of eyes sees your ad, your impressions is knocked down by 1. I'm sure there will be questions. That's about the clearest as I can explain it. An impression is a pair of eyes seeing your ad on the website.
Is it similar to the Facebook algorithms?
Yes, similar, but not nearly as complicated because we don't have billions of dollars. Yeah, it's pretty rudimentary. Think Facebook 2009. That's about where we are. So it's really simple. You buy impression blocks. So that's the idea. And feel free to ask questions if I wasn't clear. Consider the timing of your ad. May 1st is probably a good time to start running your ad because people can actually start buying. But also keep in mind that on May 1st, a lot of people are going to have that in their mind. So suddenly, since basically if there are 5 active ads on the site, A, your impressions are going to go by faster because there's only 5 ads on the site, but B, more people are going to see your ad in a shorter period of time, right? Now, come June 8th, there's going to be probably the maximum amount of ads in the site, and you're all fighting for eyes. Your impressions will go slower, but your ads will also be seen by less. So maybe it's a strategy if you want to embed your brand in the eyes of people checking the site early, do it at May 1st or before May 1st, where there are very few ads running. So think about it. You can always uncheck the active box after your ad is approved to stop it. And yes, you can always save your ad to next year as well if you don't run out of impressions. So think about online ads, also available at hollywoodfringe.org/market. Okay. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that have bought online ads already, we're officially approving them this week. So if you don't want them to run, go in and uncheck that active button, and they'll be halted for a little while. Okay, super. In the world of media discounts and opportunities, we have quite a few. And for those of you who are currently trying to write very fast, I will remind you again, hollywoodfringe.org/participants. All this information, including contact information, is there. Okay, Backstage. Everybody know Backstage? Yes, okay. Backstage is a sponsor of ours. They are providing discounted ads as well as tools for getting your notices out. So for those of you that need a stage manager, need a director, or looking to post casting notices, Backstage is your friend, and through Hollywood Fringe Festival and the discount code in your participant packets, you get a discount on those listings and notices. So think about that as an option. Anyone know what Discover Hollywood is? Because you're not tourists. Okay. All right. If you walk up and down Hollywood Boulevard, you'll see Discover Hollywood's everywhere. They're the official tourist magazine of Hollywood, and they're also a partner of us. They're a little more on the expensive side, but if you're looking to attract tourists coming to Hollywood, then this is a great way to do it. And you get 33% off all ads. So check out the participant pack for information on how to contact and buy ads from Discover Hollywood. Okay, exciting announcement. We have a sponsor this year. It's relatively new. They did a little work with us last year, but they're doing a lot this year. Who knows what Gold Star is? It's not Gold Star. It is, for right or wrong, it is one of Gold Star's big competitors that are currently making a move into Los Angeles, and they're just wonderful people. And we just put together a deal with them, so you will pardon me if I dramatically read what they've had me read, because I'm really excited about this partnership. Okay, you might ask the question, what is TodayTix? TodayTix is an app and website for theater and other performing arts tickets across 10 cities globally. Over 2.5 million, that's a lot, cultural lovers worldwide use TodayTix, and over 500 theaters partner with TodayTix to reach new audiences. In LA, TodayTix works with theaters that you might have heard of, like Center Theater Group, the Pasadena Playhouse, just tiny little theaters, the Geffen and the Wallace as a platform for free marketing and supplemental ticket sales. So this is a supplemental option. People might remember, or they might know, or they might not know, that you need to sell 50% of your capacity on a per performance level through the Hollywood Fringe website. I'll say that again. You need to sell 50% of your seats. So basically, these seats for this performance need to be on sale through the Hollywood Fringe website. These seats you can put on sale wherever you want. You can put them all on sale on the Hollywood Fringe website, or 50, or anywhere between 50 and 100. Okay, again, can't be more clear. But you can put some of these seats, for example, on TodayTix to a different type of audience to snatch them up. So it's a lot like those are. Can you hold on to the end and hold on to that question now? So, what does Today Ticks do for Fringe participants? In a new partnership with the Fringe Festival, that's us, Fringe Productions can set up a listing on Today Ticks for visibility and supplemental sales on the Today Ticks platform. There is no cost to setting up a listing. So there is zero cost to you to do this. They really want to establish a good faith partnership with us, and they really are interested in helping you guys. So that is why, so Y-List as a partner, Today Ticks will be heavily promoting us, which is really nice. There's going to be a Today Ticks Hollywood Fringe page. A lot of productions, you guys that want to sell are going to be on it, and you'll be a part of that promotion, and we'll be helping promote that as well. So I would suggest if you have some of these extra tickets, you want to try to sell them somewhere else, Today Ticks, not Gold Star, is the place to do that. It's easy and free. You can submit your show through the website. Today Ticks encourages Fringe participants to submit their show before April 26th to maximize your production's reach. And believe it or not, information on Today Ticks is located at hollywoodfringe.org/participants or hollywoodfringe.org/Today Ticks. Okay, great. Thank you, Today Ticks. Today Ticks, TODAYTIX. And it's the Hollywood Fringe Festival, not the Hollywood French Festival. You'd be surprised. Once, I don't know if I said this in the last one, but like in 2010, there was actually a French festival up the road from us. So we'd have people say, oh no, it's the Hollywood Fringe Festival here. And it was like, yeah, this is the French Festival. This is the French Festival? Like, no, this is the Fringe Festival. No, the French Festival. Like, yes, the Fringe, it was Laurel Party. It was, that actually happened. Okay. NoHo Arts District. Anyone ever see a show in NoHo? Yep. There you go. There's an organization called NoHo Arts District. It's been around there for a very, very long time. Used to run a festival up there as well. They have a big website. Gets a lot of traffic from arts lovers, and they're providing you guys discounted ads. Again, you may learn more information at hollywoodfringe.org/participants. Footlights, this man's organization right here. I've known Peter Finlayson since the 1910, I don't know.
Oh, about then, yeah.
About then, okay, right. Yeah. Early Fringe supporter, early Fringe partner. Every year he does something new and something fantastic. Peter, you're here. Do you want to talk about what you're doing? What's your offering this year?
Would you like that now?
I would love it.
You want me to interrupt you?
I do. Because I need to do something about this pen that's shaking my nipple.
Well. All right. You can get up.
You could have done it if you were chair.
I can't do that.
Fair enough.
You know, the camera can't see me. You know, I'm an actor. Can you see me now? Hi guys. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Footlights programs.
Yeah.
A couple of you? Okay. You've seen them? Okay. This year we're doing a special deal for the Fringe Festival. It's, in the past, we have created individual programs for each show, and they've been very reasonably priced, and some people have taken us up on that, and we can do that if that's exactly what you want. But what we are doing this year is we are going to do a combination guide, so that there will be between 4 and 6 different shows in each program, okay, which will serve as a cross-promotion between you and who you share that program with, okay? We have on our website, footlights.click, a sample of what that will look like. There'll be a table of contents. There either will be independent internal covers for each show. I don't have one here because I don't have one of the guides yet.
They don't exist.
Yes, they will. But you'll get a cover that looks kind of like that, okay? This is Into the Woods Center Theater Group. And then you, between 4 and 8 pages of content that is on your show specifically, okay? So if you want information on that, go to our website, okay? Or Hollywood Fringe participants.
Yes, .org. Oh, you have your own URL as well.
Yes.
hollywoodfringe.org/footlights. That's all the information you need.
So there's an introductory letter there that tells you what to do, how to get hold of us. If you want to know, if you haven't seen Footlights before and you'd like a sample, I have some with me. You can get an idea of what we do. It's a very professionally produced magazine, and it will act as a take-home compendium with your guide. And there will also be advertising opportunities in there at incredibly low prices. okay? In fact, I don't want to tell this to Ben, so you're not listening. We're actually a little cheaper than Ben in print advertising.
This is the guy that mocked me for having such
You go with the flow, what can I say, right? So anyhow, see me afterwards. If you want to take a look on the site, it's footlights.click, C-L-I-C-K, okay? And right in our header, there's a Fringe sample guide, and then I have samples with me tonight, and I have cards if you want to contact us, and I look forward to speaking to any and all of you, okay?
Thank you. Wonderful. All right. Anybody know what LAFPI is? Los Angeles Female Playwrights Initiative. Also an early supporter of us and a wonderful organization. They are interested in partnering with shows written by female playwrights or helmed by women artists to arrange and exchange and additional promotion. Check out again HollywoodFringe.org/participants to learn more about LAFPI if you were a woman helmed or play written show. They give an award every year as well, and last year they gave a fantastic statistic that in 2016 over 50% of original shows at the Hollywood Fringe Festival were written by women. So I think this year we can do 60. So by all means, contact LFPI if you're interested in learning more about that wonderful organization. ALAP, the Alliance of Los Angeles Playwrights. This is another great organization. I've done a lot of work with them. I've spoken on their panels. They're a great bunch of guys. They have an annual membership. You may get $10 off your first year membership because of your registration with the Fringe Festival. So really that's a great deal if you're looking to network with other playwrights. They have these big events full of playwrights living in Los Angeles. And it's a great deal. It's a great place to be. WeHo, I think a lot of you at this point hopefully know a little bit about our partnership with the city of West Hollywood and their One City, One Pride Festival. So you've heard us say you need to book within Hollywood, you need to book within Hollywood. There's one way to not book within Hollywood is that if you have an LGBTQ show with LGBTQ themes, then you may book shows in the city of West Hollywood and be eligible for a registration scholarship if you do so. There's 15 scholarships available if you have a booking in West Hollywood. So there's some rules that apply. I say everyone should go look who's interested at hollywoodfringe.org/WeHo, W-E-H-O. And of course there's information at hollywoodfringe.org/participants. Okay, fantastic. LA Stage Alliance. Does everyone know what LA Stage Alliance is? Wow. Okay. LA Stage Alliance, thank you, is an organization that promotes Los Angeles theater within the city itself and to the world. Stephen Lee Morris, who I think some of you may know as a former editor-at-large of LA Weekly, is now the executive director of LA Stage, and we do have a partnership with them as well. They're offering you guys, participants, deep discounts on rehearsal space. Everyone probably needs that to one extent or another, as well as props, costumes, and set rentals, and discounted advertising. And you may learn more about our LA Stage partnership at hollywoodfringe.org/participants. Okay, photography and videography. For those of you that want professional photographs of your shows or have bits of your shows or the entirety of your show videographed, then we actually have quite a few options for you. One is the man himself over here, Nathaniel Beaver, the head of Fringe TV. He will videograph your show, as well as Robbie DeVillis. I don't know him personally, but I heard he's very good, and I actually today looked at his portfolio. It's very good. Also a videographer. Matt Kamimura, who I swear to you, a lot of you will get to know during Fringe. He is the official Hollywood Fringe photographer. He's always around Fringe Central taking pictures of you. He is offering photographic services for your show. Annie Lesser. What's great about these three photographers is they're all so different. They have such different styles. Annie Lesser, check out her site. She's got some amazing stuff, as is Adam Stallard, who did my family photos, so that's a bit of an investment. Those 3 photographers, all very different, all very cool. Check out their portfolios that are linked in the participant packet. Determine if you're interested, which are best for you. All Fringe-friendly prices. So, great, you got 5 options, 2 videographers and 3 photographers to choose from that know us, have worked with us before, and that we vouch for. So, great. Asylum Consulting, Matt Quinn left, before I talk about his shit. Okay. Matt Quinn, like a lot of you know, he runs Asylum in like 150 Fringe venues. Matt is also the principal in a consulting organization. He's been around since the very beginning. He was the first venue to sign up for the 2010 festival, our first festival. He knows what he's doing. At some point, he's got to tell me how many acts he's hosted, but I bet it's this point probably near to breaking 750 shows that he has hosted personally in one of his venues. He knows about Fringe. He can help you. He does PR stuff, web posting, consulting services, Fringe veteran. Check him out if you're interested. He is the only consultant on this list, I might add. Podcasts. We live in a world of podcasts, and I love it. I'm deep into S-Town right now. So, you know, for those of you who are not listening to that. See it or, no, S-Town is not weirdly coming into the Hollywood Fringe Festival, no. See It or Skip It LA. For those of you who know Cindy Marie Jenkins, she's a Fringe veteran. She hosts a curated podcast. She is looking for interview opportunities. She's not going to pick everyone. She's going to pick who she wants to pick because it's a private sort of thing. But you can email her and ask her, I want to be interviewed by you. And this is the only podcast right now that's specifically covering the Fringe Festival. So if you're interested, that's not true. There's an immersive theater one called No Proscenium that is also covering us as well. So See It or Skip It LA, talk to Cindy. She might be interested in interviewing you. Contact information, hollywoodfringe.org/participants. Okay, let's talk for a second about flyers. I said once that flyering is fringing. Flyering is a big deal. It's your business card. It's how you get out. It's how you represent yourself. It's what you carry in your pocket. It hasn't fully been replaced by anything digital at this point when you're just meeting someone. So you absolutely need to have flyers. Now, how many is entirely up to you. The average seems to be 1,000. But like, get them. There's a few bin rules about flyering that bug the hell out of me. There's like anti-patterns with flyering that I want to talk about. First of all, 2 sides, people. 2 sides. You post a one-sided flyer, it basically says to me that you don't give a damn. So 2-sided flyers, it's like 50 cents more. It's like nothing. Do not do the one-sided flyer. Another thing, if you're doing a traditional flyer, please don't use Staples printer paper and think you're going to save $1 by cutting your own flyers. Get them professionally done. People notice. There's a big difference. I know, and rightly so, because we're beating this into your head about budget and saving money and using money where it's effective. The small amount of money that you will spend on a flyer to have professionally printed is absolutely worth it. And, you know, on proper flyer paper, which is called postcard stock. I mean, it makes sense. That's what it's called. So get it on cardstock. And also think creatively. You do not need to have ye old postcard size thing. Like if your show takes place in a bar, consider a coaster sort of thing. If you're a card magician, consider a card. These are all actual ideas that have been used in the past by participants. If you can somehow get your flyer to stand out from the crowd, be it through your art or through the shape or the utility of the flyer, then absolutely do it. Because as I said, everyone's looking for a way to set themselves apart from the 300 plus shows that are going to be participating in 2017. So absolutely incredibly important. Some news, some basic really stuff from a guy who created flyers for the first show he produced. Make sure they're legible. For example, what I did on my first flyer was white text on a yellow background. Thank you very much. I know I'm not the first, I won't be the last, but think about this stuff. Think about legibility. Think about font size. Show it to someone. Like actually look look what it likes at 100% before you give it to your printer. Include the what, why, and where. Why should I see this show? I used to be a big fan of having no text on the front and having all the text on the back because the front was so awesome that you just look and think, what the hell is this thing without any text on it? Flip. That was just what I used to do, but do what you do. Obviously, that's a risk. And you need amazing art to do that. But somewhere on your flyer, definitely have the what, why, and where. What is it? Why should I see it? Where? And when is it? When is the other one? Some flyering etiquette. This is a big sin of the Fringe, okay? You're going to have flyer tables everywhere. There will be flyer tables in the venues. There will be flyer tables in Fringe Central. They will all be laid out so you can see the front of each. Here's what you don't do. Slap, see ya. Don't put your stack of flyers just willy-nilly on the top of other flyers. Because if I see that, I will take it and not so unaggressively recycle it in the trash can. Like it's gone, because that is just rude. That's showing a gross disrespect for other people. So you can do it. It's Tetris. It's flyer Tetris. Figure out how to keep all of your flyers on one page. Don't do this. 2010, I was in an audience in a Fringe show, and the Fringe show ended, and everyone's applauding, and everyone starts to stand up, and then one guy stands up, "Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all of you to my show." And this wasn't his show. Obviously, by the gasps in the audience, this is great. By the gasp in the audience, I hear right now, you can see that most of you probably wouldn't do that. But now you've definitely heard that that is bad. So if you want to flyer outside of a house, however, if you run down to the complex, you want to flyer outside of the complex, that's fine. Ask permission. Ideally ask permission of the show that's going on at the time, but definitely ask permission of the venue managers to make sure that that's cool. It's a good strategy. Very few venue managers will say no. If you see people coming out of a show, they're probably seeing Fringe shows. So it is a good place to flyer. Just make sure you get the venue's permission. That's just etiquette, it's politeness. We have a few folks that will make flyers for you. You making flyers this year?
I can.
Peter right here at Footlights will make you flyers. Arnold the printer is another guy we've been working with for a long time. Oh, Arnold of Studio City. All of his information is on the participant packet as well. And for those of you that have all the flyers, you have like stacked this high of flyers, and you're like, what the hell am I going to do with these now? An option is to have them distributed. And there is for $90, Larry Bloom, the guy who actually works on the Fringe Guide distribution, will distribute 1,000 flyers for you in his incredibly, apparently secret spots that he won't tell me around Los Angeles. So he knows the places where people pick these up. It's like a trade secret. But he will, for $90, 1,000 flyers, and he will put them all over Los Angeles in bookstores and theaters, in the place where people generally see theater. So that's a pretty good deal that a lot of people, we've been working with him for years and years, that a lot of people take advantage of. Okay. Those are some promotional ideas for you. We've only got a little bit left, and we're going to head into QA. We're actually doing pretty well. Educational events. You're all registered. Congratulations. Guess what you get if you want. You may register, and we'll still accept registrations for these and get them in the guide, a workshop. So if you want to run a workshop, an educational workshop, which is defined by someone on stage like teaching something to some people in the audience, it's not like an educational workshop. It's like, my art will teach people how to be kind. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an actual sort of teacher classroom sort of environment. You'd be surprised the questions I get. You get that for free. That's a free registration. So if you are registered in the Hollywood Fringe Festival and you are of the teaching ilk and you have something to share and you can find a venue, then you can register for free. And you may charge at the door if you wish. It doesn't need to be free. You'll just get a free registration. So this is our interest in building up a workshop program, increasing education, giving other opportunities to artists to get some side income, et cetera, et cetera. When you register, it said pull down what sort of event you want to register. It's like $250 for paid, $175 for non-paid or single performance. It's right there. There's participant workshop, and you may choose that, and you will get a free registration. One per registered project. Okay, Press awareness. Let's talk for a second about press. I imagine a lot of you have questions about press. A lot of you wonder who the hell covers theater in Los Angeles anymore, which is a fair question. There's actually quite a few. And if you go to our support portal at support.hollywoodfringe.org, I direct you to an article called, I think it's called All About the Press. Or it's called Press Awareness. It's called Press Awareness. In there, there's actually a list of outlets that still cover theater in this fine city of Los Angeles. So if you're looking to build a press list, which as a producer is one of your great assets, is you have a list of all your people, go there and you'll see the periodicals that still cover you. And they are all around Fringe, so you want to reach out to them. The first thing you want to do, a lot of press organizations that cover Fringe will only see your show if you have a press release posted on the hollywoodfringe.org site. So if you go to hollywoodfringe.org/press, you will see all the press releases. And for you guys, where to post your press release, if you go to your project page, projects / whatever your number is, click on the press tab, and this is also listed out in the participant packet, there will be an opportunity for you to upload one or multiple press releases. Now, about press releases. If you check out that press awareness article or if you check out that participant packet, there's a way to write a press release. And if you don't write them that way, the press will think that you're ridiculous or whatever they think. So check out the guidelines. There's only about 1 billion examples on the internet of press releases and what they should look at. There's a way to write a press release. There's a format in which it's written. So check it out, do some research, read about it in the participant guide. Before you do it, can you wait until the end?
Deadlines?
Deadlines for, you can, anytime. Anytime. And you can continue to add press releases through it, and they'll show up vlog style on hollywoodfringe.org/press. And the press actually follows. So yes, post your press release. Talking about press comps, unless you specifically say you do not want to be covered by the press, I imagine most of you probably do. The press can request comps to your show. So part of the great rule of Fringe, which is keep checking your email all the time, is you might get an email if you're the principal producer of your show, the primary contact of your show. You might get an email saying, congratulations, the press want to cover you. Click this link. It will take you straight to a pre-filled out page where all you need to do is hit add comp for the performance that the press has chosen, and they will go on your will call list. It's super easy. You just got to be there to read the email, click the link, opens the page with a pre-filled out name of person, number of tickets, and performance that I want to see. You would add comps, and they're added to your will call list with an asterisk that says press. So you know when a superstar press person comes up, they see a little asterisk by your will call list, like, oh, it's the press. Let me give you my fancy press packet. Something to consider as well. A lot of shows put together packets specifically for the press. Google, look around. There's a lot of ways to do this, from fancy branded folders to just plain folders with some press releases in it and some materials on your show. It gives you that professional edge that says you're serious. Create a press strategy. Figure out the press you want to target. Leverage any existing relationships. Do not spam them. It's okay to send them a press release. By the way, press releases are not attachments. You send somebody the press an attachment, like a PDF attachment, I promise you they won't read it. Like, they're lazy. They get a lot of these. They will not read it. Inline. Your press release should be inline, meaning the body of email, so it's right there for me to see. I don't need to do anything. It's also okay to send a personal email as well, saying, hi, I think judging by the amazing reviews you give to shows just like me, that you'll probably enjoy my show. Here's what I'm trying to do, and I'd like to invite you to it with free press comps. That's also okay. But do not spam them, because that is obviously alienating, and they get a lot of spam. Okay, that's all I got to say about press. If you got questions, we'll answer later, and fantastic. If you ever have any questions about any of this, also, support at hollywoodfringe.org, support at hollywoodfringe.org, and we will help you. Just a couple more things to talk about, and we'll get to the Q&A. Networking. Okay. There are 300 plus shows this year. There's going to be significant rise in shows probably have something to do with Donald Trump this year than in previous years. Seriously, this is going to be the biggest Fringe festival we've ever had. So there's a lot of competition happening. No, I won't say competition. I would say opportunities, because we're not competitive with one another. We're supportive of one another. But for the audience dollar, the audience eyes, and the audience time, you obviously want to find a way to stand out. You want to find a way to bring audiences in. And one of the secrets of this wonderful community that is the Fringe world is that we all go see each other's shows. That's a really big thing. And where do you meet these people? You meet them in places like this. You talk to them, and you go to 3 clubs after that to the mixer, and you introduce yourself and say, this is my show. You go to the office hours events every Wednesday from now until the opening night party, which is like the last office hours. You mingle with other people. You meet them and talk about your show. If you are sort of the sullen artist type that doesn't like to meet people, get a producer who isn't. And send them to these mixer types to meet people and to make friends. There's a thing called #friendships. It's a thing. People develop friendships at the Hollywood Fringe Festival that go on and on and on, become fruitful partnerships. But you got to get out there, you got to meet people, you got to mingle. It's like how you see my show, I'll see your show sort of thing. Like that happens quite a lot. You trade tickets. You go see their preview shows, your boosters, your helpers, your supporters. That's how you succeed at the Fringe Festival. You do not succeed by being an asshole who only looks after their own show. You don't give a damn about anybody else. You succeed about opening yourself up to the rest of the community. Like I've seen it again, and again. Like if the people show up at office hours, go to the mixers, who talk to other people, who are cool with other people and kind to other people, that are great community members. These are the ones that suddenly have audiences. And then those little audiences that are just the people you met in the mixers, they go off and say, actually, he's not just a nice person, or she's just not just a nice person, actually have a good show. And then they go and they talk to all the people they network with. And suddenly, the Creek Shangri-La of people you don't know are coming to see your show, which is what everybody wants. I love that. I have no idea who that guy is. And then by your final show, you don't know anybody in the audience. You're building an audience. And this is how you do it, by this seed. You don't think you're at that mixer and you meet someone, and you're like that person you meet, and this happens in the Fringe, is a huge connector. And people listen to that person about what shows to see. If you see people regularly at these events, it's probably one of those people. And it happens, it really happens. So networking, appreciating the warm, sort of coolest community in LA that is the Hollywood Fringe Festival, like that makes a difference. And of course, we go back to the original rule of the Hollywood Fringe Festival, which is, anyone?
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an, I like that. But don't be a jerk is the G-rated version. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a jerk. That's the only sin. It's the only thing that will get you kicked out of Fringe Central is being a jerk. It's the only thing. Everything else, be weird, be crazy, be bizarre. By all means, none of us are bizarre. But just don't be a jerk. That's the one rule. And you will see great Fringe success. Okay. Volunteering is also a great way to do that. I don't talk about it enough. But like giving your time to venues and giving your time to the Fringe organization is a wonderful way to meet people. And it's actually a lot of fun too. And you get a t-shirt. HollywoodFringe.org/volunteer. There's also links around the site. It is in the participant packet. If you're interested in ever, being on the Hollywood Fringe staff, this almost everyone is currently on the staff. Started out by volunteering, especially me when I wasn't paid for 3 years. I was basically volunteering. So yeah, HollywoodFringe.org/volunteer. Office hours, I mentioned this. This is a wonderful weekly gathering in bars where you can drink for cheaper than you might otherwise drink and meet people and have a great time. We had 60 people this year at our first one. If you want to see like harbinger for great crowds to come, like we had 60 people at our first one. Maybe we had 10 3 years ago at our first one. And now we're seeing like, I think by the last one we had like 90 last year of people showing up to hang out at these Wednesday office hours. People are there. It's like a preliminary vision of what Fringe Central will be once it's grown. So a couple of just coming up, April 12th, that's next Wednesday. I love this bar, Lost Property. That's at Vine in Hollywood. That's a fantastic little bar. They have an $8 cocktail, which I guess is a pretty good LA price. Okay. The Pig and Whistle on Hollywood. That's on April 19th. That was the sort of like Fringe Central was right there in 2010, and I ate way too many French fries at the Pig and Whistle. I gained like 13 pounds. There's going to be a special to be determined. April 26th is Melrose Umbrella Company. Can't say I've ever been there, but I like the name. May 3rd, St. Felix, know that place on Cahuenga, and all the way up to the opening night party. So go check out hollywoodfringe.org/blog, and there's like right on the left, there's office hours, locations, and times. Strongly suggest people go to those. And we're close to the end. I talked about the social network we're doing, but absolutely do your own social network as well. We have Twitter chats, which are basically a defined hour where everyone jumps on Twitter and talks and asks questions and talks about their show. It works. I mean, like people you meet at events are like, hey, I met you on Twitter. It actually happens. And you start to get to know these Twitter names, and it starts to embed in your mind. We talk a lot about like impressions, not just about online ad impressions, but actual impressions to make on people. Like that poster is an impression. And me handing you a flyer is an impression. And someone saying, this show's really great, is an impression. And there's some scientific bullshit number. It's like 7 impressions equals a sale, 7 impressions equals a sale. You need to be exposed to something 7 times, which is why things like online ads, which most people think are like, well, those things they don't pay attention to, there's a mental thing that happens when you see those online ads, right? There's a mental thing that happens when you see a flyer lying around. You start to get these images stuck in your mind, and then you think, oh, that show, yeah, maybe we should see that show tonight. That's next. Yeah, let's see that show. I've seen that show around. Happens. This is how people make buying decisions. This is how people see shows. Twitter is one of those ways. You see people. You're like, oh, that guy's show. I'll see that show. So think about it. If you're available, and if you're not available, there are all sorts of tools that allow you to schedule tweets. And so just say, hey guys, just wanted to say hello, here's my show, everyone have a great Twitter chat, something like that. Even that helps. And we talked about volunteering. If you're interested in volunteering, you can go to that page, hollywoodfringe.org/volunteer, or contact our wonderful volunteer director, who I think a lot of you met, and she checked you in, Stina Peterson, at Stina, S-T-I-N-A, S-T-I-N-A, at hollywoodfringe.org. Also, if you have a show and you would like to invite Hollywood Fringe volunteers to come see, there are a lot of them, and you want to give them discounted or free tickets, then email Stina and say, hey, Stina, I have a show, believe it or not, and I'm interested in hosting some volunteers. You want to see it because they're working hard for nothing, and we want to give them a little perk. So email Stina at hollywoodfringe.org if you're interested in taking part in that. And believe it or not, pretty good. It's only 9:15. I'm going to have a long swig of water, and then I'm going to take all of your questions. So think about your questions, everyone, and I'm going to call on you, and I swear to God I will get to everyone. And if you need to leave, it's late. So who has a question? First of all, everyone raise your hand if you have a question. It's going to be a really short night otherwise. So let's go over here.
I have 2 questions.
Yes?
So you have to tickets must be sold through the Fringe website?
Yep. No, I'm trying to like, you don't have to sell it. I mean, I hope you do.
But 50% is available. It would be nice that we sold out all those tickets.
It would be.
It doesn't necessarily have to.
Right, no. Yes, thank you.
Great.
You do not have to sell 50% of the tickets. You just need to have 50% of your tickets on sale.
Just making sense
Yes, absolutely.
of that. And is
Good.
there a Facebook community group where we could start like the conversations of sharing the lights?
There is a Facebook community group, and I think it's called Hollywood Fringe 2017. Is anybody on that group?
Yeah.
What's it called, Betty?
That's it.
Hollywood Fringe,
2017.
so there was like participants or something like that?
Yeah.
Is it open or is it closed?
open.
It's open. Okay, so there you go. Hey, Fisher. So yes, there is. And that's actually great. We don't promote that enough because somebody started it, not us, and it's sort of taken off. But like, by all means, join that group. It's a good group.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not affiliated with you guys?
No, I mean it's unofficial. Like we don't run it. We didn't start it.
Oh.
Somebody else started it, and it's just sort of taken off. It's great.
Yeah, it's a lovely opportunity for everyone to network.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely. All right. I saw over here. I'll get to everyone. I promise.
What is the best way to go about asking for any permission to hand out postcards?
Oh, that's a good question. So generally, hopefully, the venue has people working in it. You'll see someone behind a kiosk in a lot of places, someone looking somewhat official. If you're here in Sacred Fools Land, they are all wearing red Sacred Fools t-shirts generally, at least it was last year. So you find an official and say, is it cool if I flyer? 99% of the time the answer is going to be yes, thank you for asking. So yes, absolutely. Just look for an official and they'll answer. Let's go. Does that answer your question? Great. On this side, anyone else? Yes.
Yeah.
You're next.
I'm just trying to clear up about the whole advertising thing.
Yes.
So I have a graphic that I want to use.
Yes. Yes.
You're saying that unless I buy an ad, it will be in the guide. It'll just have my name.
Okay. If you're talking about the difference between a guide listing and a guide ad, is what we're talking about. So a guide listing is what you've definitely already paid for, and that is a text-based listing.
So there's no picture.
No picture whatsoever. Right. So it is the name of your show company, the performances, the date, location, and the little blurb down under the guide description that you put, 250 characters or whatever. What it does not get you is an image. So if you want an image, that's when you buy a guide ad, and that'll go. We try to make it as close to your listing in the guide as possible. Yep.
Okay, so then also you said about branding. So you were saying, oh, we do this and then get a flyer. It sounded like they're two different kind of graphics. Don't you want the same thing?
Most of the time.
Over and over again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Usually, there's very little reason, unless it's a thing you're trying to do, need to have multiple different graphics. So it's like the graphic that is your guide ad, the graphic that is your online ad, the graphic that's on your flyer, usually the same.
Okay.
Usually the same. Also, note, you made me think of something, thank you. Note on flyer ads, and I should have mentioned this, and I mentioned this before, but now you've heard me say it. If you want to put your flyer in Fringe Central, which you probably do, because it is the great home of flyers, you need to have the Hollywood Fringe logo on your flyer. I don't say that just to be a jerk who likes to see our logo everywhere. It's so we know that you're actually a Fringe show and not a show around town. Because we don't allow anyone else besides Fringe participants to put flyers in Fringe Central. Everyone tries. So we go through, and if we see a show in somewhere else around town, then we generally put them in a recycling bin. That's how we do it. If you've already printed your flyers and you didn't put the logo on it, contact support. We'll try to do what we can to help you. If you're looking for the logo, and this is in the packet as well, hollywoodfringe.org/branding. We'll have lots of logo options for you. We have a PNG, and we have a EPS, and we have a PSD. Your designer probably wants the EPS. You probably don't know what the hell an EPS file is. Just know this, EPS stands for what your designer wants. So send that to your designer. So yes, remember to put your logo on your flyers. Any other questions? All on this side, and I'll come back. Yes?
I was going to say, you promised me. You keep talking about a packet.
Yep.
What is this packet?
What is this? What's the URL for this packet? Yeah, that's a good question. So at hollywoodfringe.org/participants is the participant packet. And what it does is basically distills much of what I've been talking about in a less verbose, more concise way into the packet. So information on working with the press, information on how to socialize, information on every deal that I've mentioned today are all listed in that packet. It's basically the benefit.
It can be found on the website.
It can be on the website under the URL hollywoodfringe.org/participants. And tomorrow-ish, maybe Monday, we'll be emailing everyone a link to that as well so everyone knows about it.
Oh, great.
So great. But you probably have memorized the URL by this point. I promised someone on this side that I get to them next. And yes.
Oh, Jane Fawn under the Jello mold.
Oh, thank you for doing that. By the way, guys, one thing I do, stand up, say your name, and your show name. That's usually a good idea. Start getting in that promotion sort of way. So yes.
Now I'm standing up. Just really quick, the logo that needs to be on the flyers, does that need to be on anything else like the Fringe website?
No.
Ads, or it's just for the flyers?
Good question.
And anywhere, right?
Yeah, the only place it needs to be is on the flyers.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say use precious space in your design to put the Hollywood Fringe logo on things like the guide ad, because people know that it's the Hollywood Fringe because it's in the guide, right? But definitely
But
on your
like a
flyers.
Facebook ad, it might help
Sure.
just because it affiliates you with the Fringe.
Yes.
And it might be a good
Absolutely.
one. Okay.
Something like that, yes. If it's in the guide, though, people already know you're in the
Yeah.
Fringe. If it's in the website, people probably know you're in the Fringe. So not necessary. Use that precious space for something else. Right? On this side, yes, again.
Yeah, sorry, I need you. Oh, I have to say my name?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like AA all over again. The information about Larry Bloom, the distribution stuff,
Yep.
is that on the packet, or could you give me that?
Oh, it's in the back.
Oh, it is?
In participants, yeah. It's there. All the information's there. Let's go over here. Oh, yes, I will get to everyone, I swear.
Does Fringe have a QR code?
Does it have a QR code? No, but you may make one.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. There are many apps for which
Do
we'll...
they have a QR?
We probably should. We probably should. Did QR codes really take off? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who use them religiously.
The thing that always worried me about QR codes is that I read this is a common hack is that they go to posters and put a QR code and you think the QR code's related to the poster and they scan it and it takes you to some sort of phishing site.
Right.
That was a thing, and that information turned me off them. But that, you know, if it works for you, then fantastic. Yeah.
I'm just thinking it should more be a Fringe QR code for
Sure.
the individual show.
Sure.
Because it's more useful on a grand scale than it really is for your show.
Absolutely. Well, ultimately, we want to pull people to your show page. The home page is fine; it gets the most traffic of any page. But we really want to pull people to your page. That's what we care about. Over here, anyone?
QR.
What's a QR code? You've probably seen them. They are indecipherable squares that are white with what looks like patterns on it. And if you have the right app on your phone and you scan it, it'll take you to a URL. So it's an easy way. The idea was that you'd be walking around a poster, and rather than going through the huge hassle of typing in the URL, you can go scan, and it'll take you straight to the URL. So yeah, it's a useful thing. So let's go over to this side. Yes.
I have 2 questions, okay? Or should I do one and then come back?
You can do 2 questions.
Okay, all right.
How many years have you participated?
This is my 6th.
6th year. And here's Michael Shaw Fisher. How many years have you participated?
Since 2011.
Since 2011. So we got some veterans in here. So talk to these guys.
First question is about creative marketing. One year there was the guy that read Moby Dick on the street corner,
Yes.
et cetera, et cetera. Do you have suggestions for that as a marketing technique? And my second question is about Sponge Awards.
Yep.
A, when will we know when those Sponge
Sure.
Awards have been accepted?
Yes.
And B, can Sponge Award people such as myself who's not doing a show
Yep.
this year be considered participants?
Yeah, you're fine. On that question. Your first question was about crazy publicity stunts.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not going to give anyone an idea. Obviously, I have thoughts on what you could do, but ultimately, if I sit up here to give an idea, then 12 people are going to do it. It's not going to be fun. But to sort of give an idea what Benny was talking about, there was a group, 2012, 13, 12, was it 12? That called Wet the Hippo. And their thing was to stand outside of Fringe Central and read Moby Dick from beginning to end without stopping. And they would have a cast member do the day and night, do the night too, right? They did the night. They would have cast members and crew members just taking over and reading a part. See, this is ridiculous, right? But I swear to you, when they were at the end, they had a crowd around them. Like, I was there. I was like, holy shit, they're gonna do it. They're gonna finish Moby Dick. And you know, people realize they're doing it. I don't think did the show have anything to do with Moby Dick at all? No, it had nothing to do with Moby Dick. But they had this amazing publicity stunt. We've had theater companies do mini marathons before, like the 1 minute race and stuff. And it's like, Michael, have you ever done anything crazy?
No.
He's more of a traditional guy.
Yeah, I have to picture
So this is Michael, who's won the top of the Fringe last year?
that. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. All right, so 2 years. That's right. So this guy actually took it all, and we have Jeffrey here, who's done the Fringe 1,000 times. Fantastic. Any other big veterans around? Oh, there we go. Big veterans, like done it more than, let's say, done Fringe 1 year. Raise your hand. Okay, keep your hand down. Put your hand down if you've done it just 1 year. You know what I'm trying to say. Who's done it 2 years? Keep your hand down. Who's done it 3 years? Keep your hand up. 4 years. 5 years. Stacey, so you get an idea. This is a very new year, which is actually pretty cool. The hands that were going up in previous years, there were significantly more. So this is actually great. We call them Fringe versions. There are quite a lot of Fringe versions this year. So if you're a Fringe version, you're in good company. So congratulations. So going back to Vinny's question, like think of something wild. This is an opportunity for you. We're talking about standing out. We're talking about that edgy sort of thing. So start thinking about that. It works. And also, it makes the Fringe so cool. When there's things like a group of people reading Moby Dick outside, that's the sort of stuff we want people to do because it gives that atmosphere. So I'm not going to cheat and give you ideas.
Do you have to get permission before you start doing crazy stuff like that?
Entirely depends on where you're doing it and what you're doing. If you're doing something that's obviously protected by some sort of license, probably. If you're doing it in front of someone else's venue, and you want permission, that sort of thing. A lot of the venues are cool, and if you want to do something wild, here's an idea. This is great. This is the best thing. Last year for the party, we had a show last year that had a bunch of 12-year-olds. It was actually, they did Titus Andronicus
Yes.
with 12-year-olds. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that, right? So they emailed us and said, support, like, I understand we probably can't go to the opening night party because we're 12, but can we stage a mock protest in front of you saying you're unfair to kids for not letting them drink? And we were like, absolutely. So when I walked into the Fringe opening party, there were all these kids screaming like unfair to kids, let us drink, chanting. Like, we're like, this is amazing. This is amazing. There was one big company that did this like circus march from their venue to the opening night party. And it was wild. I'm just standing there minding my own business. And suddenly this phalanx of clowns kind of starts marching towards me, all with instruments. It's stuff like this. Do these things. These things are amazing. They're entertaining. They provide atmosphere, and they give you publicity. So, absolutely. That's a good point that I didn't answer. I feel like I spun it away that I'm alike. I'm going to go to this side. Yes?
Hi.
Much more questions on this side. Come on.
I'm Matthew Rosevalley, director of Monster Beautiful this year. I had a question about the cabaret. I want to know a little more about it and how to get involved.
Sure. So the reason you don't know about it yet is actually to tell you how to get involved because positions are not open yet. As soon as there are times available, so check your email, keep your eye on your emails, and we will let you know how to get in contact with Bella, who is our cabaret manager, and she will set you up with an opportunity. She will ask you, what type of show are we talking about? Are we talking about Long Day's Journey to Night? Or are we talking about some sort of fun, burlesque, cabaret, storytelling sort of thing? Because it's supposed to be, it's light. It's light. So if you have a show like that, the cabaret is absolutely an option. It's great. I think she gives you 5 minutes. You'll have to ask her. But you go up there, it's fantastic. You see it's like a buffet of different Fringe acts. And like, I love cabaret so much. So absolutely. Keep your eye on your email. And that's the answer. Thank you. I'm going to go to this side. Who's had their hand up the longest? Yes.
Steve Beckwith, Too Many Hitlers.
One, maybe.
About the guide print ads, since the name is right there, the reader can direct right to all the information. How much information would you bother putting in?
Good question. Do not. It's up to you. If you get a full-page ad, you might consider doing your full performance list. I wouldn't recommend putting the whole list of your performances. I would say see guide ad or see guide list for details. Even if you don't even have to put that, people will get it, right? Definitely the name of your show. Let's start there. And anything else that, like a tagline that brings people in. It's really up to you in your marketing. But don't feel like you need to list every performance in your guide ad. Again, precious space, right? And it, it's ultimately up to you. If you get a full-page ad, you want to list all your performances, like go with God, like go crazy. But like you don't need to, and most don't. So, because your guide listing is usually really close to your ad. Hope that answers your question.
Thanks.
Great. This side, yes.
Two questions. Do you, in regards to the guide ads, do you have samples online that we can look at?
No, what a good question. So go to hollywoodfringe.org /guide_2000 whatever 2010 to 2016. And I'm pretty sure the 16 works. I'm pretty sure I was smart enough to do that ahead of time. Usually I don't flip it until the year up. But anyway, go to like /2014 guide _ 2014, 2015, 2016, and you'll get an idea of what former ads look like. It'll take you to a PDF that'll show you the full print of other guides. So yeah, that's a good place to start.
I know you're talking about tickets next week, but because the deadline is the 15th and
Yep.
sending things in,
Yep.
I heard at the last town hall there was a whole talk about codes and discount codes
Discount
and like
codes,
that. But what if you just want to keep it simple and just have a price? Is
Yes.
that more advantageous, or is there a thing to having a code that
Okay.
draws people in? I don't
This
know.
was the workshop that talked about discount codes, I guess?
Yeah, it was one of the questions. I
Okay, great. I mean, yeah, so everyone has, we're going to talk about this in the next one, this is good. Everyone has a price, which is the price of your show, and then everyone has a participant price. And tip, discount for participants. Do not charge more for participants, that's just rude. I don't actually know if we let you. I think we normalize the fact of the actual cost. So you have a ticket price. You have a basic ticket price for the general public civilians. You have a price for participants, which is usually lower, preferably, or paid up what you can, or something like that. There is the button price. We'll talk about buttons. Buttons get everyone $1 off. So if you charge $15 and someone walks in with a button, it's $14. We'll talk about buttons. Don't worry about it. A lot at the next town hall. But then you may also set discount codes. So the great thing about discount codes is it allows you to slide somebody a code or a certain group a code to say, like, for example, I went to the University of Maryland, and my code is College Park or UMD or something like that. And I blast my alumni list. Hey guys, I have a show in Los Angeles. Discount code UMD will get you $3 off. And what's great about that is that A, you can target a market and give them a discount, which is a reason to bring them in and make that sale. And it's a way to track how successful that campaign is. Because you'll be able to see how many tickets you sold using that discount code. You're like, okay, I sent some to my UMD friends, I sent some to my day job friends, and actually, wow, that day job discount code took off. I was really doing something right there. I should continue to use that strategy. So yes, do you need to set discount codes? No, you absolutely don't. Is it a good way to do marketing? Absolutely. So that's discount codes.
Okay. But if your ticket's already very affordable, do you need?
It's up to you, your strategy.
Okay.
It's your strategy, yeah. I mean, almost all Fringe tickets are generally affordable, right? Except for those of you that are daring the 25 or above.
Yeah.
But like, absolutely. I see you! All the way in the back, you know?
Jeremy Evanstein, I've been sober for, oh, sorry, well.
Hi, Jeremy.
Yeah, food is my vice, no. My show is called Pain in My Ass Burgers. Yes, you heard right. And about the promotional stuff.
Yeah.
All sounds really great, and I've been vlogging, trying not to under or overdo it.
Yep.
And if one has spent on all the theater stuff and all this and that, it might be a little hard to get even that nice $125
Sure.
promotion stuff. Is that like shooting oneself in the foot though if we're not doing
Okay,
it?
that's a good question.
Thank you.
That's a good question. So look, and I said this at the first town hall. It is in no one's interest, the venues, the Fringe staff, anyone, that you lose money on the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Like, no one wants you to do that. People want you to, at the very least, break even and have a great time, or lose just maybe a little money and have a great time, right? And preferably make a little and have a great time. Having a great time is pretty much a common thread. Now, when you're putting together your budget, which hopefully all of you have, because you watched the first town hall and you realize I need to put together a budget for myself, how much I'm spending on registration, performances, marketing, production. You've gone through and done that budget and figured out how much you're going to spend. And then you've done that, watched the first town hall. I gave you a really simple, basic multiplication to determine how much you plan to make on a nightly basis. And then stick to that budget. And if that budget means you can't buy a guide ad, don't buy a guide ad, right? It's all a risk, right? Every time you invest in your own marketing. It's always a risk. You don't know what's going to work. Like, we happen to know that guide ads are effective based on what people tell us, you know? It's one of those impressions. We know that Facebook ads, work as kind of as a way to gather more impressions. We know that direct marketing, handing people things, works. Like, there's certain things we know that work. But every time you make a marketing spend, it is an act of faith a little bit, right? And it's always that question, I'm going to spend $125 on this ad. Is it going to generate $125 in sales? Like, what is that? So what is $125? Let's say my price is $12. That's the price of my tickets. That's 10 tickets. Is that ad going to get me 10 tickets? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it'll get you 20. Maybe it'll get you 5. You don't know. It depends on so many factors. It depends on how good the ad is, right? If it's a kick-ass ad that you're putting out and it stands out, then, and you've put a lot of time and effort into creating your artwork, and you know you're getting good feedback on it, you want to get it out as most as possible, it sounds like it's an effective ad. In which case, you probably want to run as much as possible. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, everyone in this room is running their own business right now. Seriously scary, but true. Everyone is running their own business right now. Everyone is Your Show Name LLC. So and you need to run it like a business. And if I'm going to invest in marketing, I want to know what's my return on that investment. Right? What's my ROI? All right. So think about it. ROI, return on investment. Yeah. so think about it. I'm going to answer your question. There's no yes or no answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with so many things involving the soft science of marketing, there's no absolutes. But people tell me that the guide ads have been effective for them, and I know that because people keep buying them. So it's a good idea. And so I'm not going to tell you absolutely buy a guide ad if it's not in your budget, but if it is in your budget, it's one of the more effective ones. On this side, yes.
Hi.
I'm getting you. I got you.
Sonia Jackson, Conversations About the Girls. These are the girls. On the runway, you said costumes?
Yes.
Now, can you do something other than costumes?
Like? You don't want to give it away.
Set. I'll just say set.
Set. So when it comes around, there will be, I don't run the runway, this is our outreach team runs the runway event. There'll be an email out saying like sign up, ask them then, like specifically what they have in mind. Potentially, I mean it's an interesting thing. Usually we always like saying yes. We're not a very no organization. So, but say exactly what you want to do and ask them when signups come around and they will give you a prompt answer. So yeah, that answers your question. Okay, yes.
Me.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm Peter Foldy. I'm doing a play called Penetration, and yes, it's what you think it's about. I've got
marketing.
2 quick questions. One is on the guide at the ad and the guide. I've listed my tickets at $15, but I'm willing to let them go for, let's say, $12.
Sure.
$50. Should I put like the discount code in the ad?
You could.
Mention, industry. Use industry code, get to $50.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now keep in mind that, and not just industry people are going to use that. People are going to use that as much as possible. But absolutely. See, why that's a good idea is like that answers that question. Is this ad servicing me? Because if that's the only place you put that discount code, right, then you're gonna know that if people enter that discount code, and that's because they saw that ad, and then you know for future fringes and whatnot, future investments, that this is a good investment for me. So yes, absolutely, that's a great idea.
Just follow
Yeah.
the other question. What was the name of the lady who does the interviews, the podcast?
Oh, Cindy Marie Jenkins. And Cindy Marie Jenkins, and that's in the participant packet as well. HollywoodFringe.org/participants. Everyone's favorite URL. I'm going to go on this side. Anyone else? Okay, back to this side. Who's had their hand up the longest? Okay.
Hi, Bonnie Slidikoff. My show is The Magic School Bus, a Traumedy. It's a solo show. And you go on a field trip inside my body to learn about trauma, but it's hilarious. And also slightly off Broadway, a 5-person cabaret where we're going to give you new lyrics to all of your favorite Broadway songs, including Hamilton. And The Physicist, which runs in here for 11 performances. So come to all of those. So my question is, you mentioned something about multiple press releases
Yes.
that I've never heard. Can you elaborate on why you would do that?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of organizations do multiple press releases. They post them on the site because they want to highlight a different part of the show, or if they have added new performances, or there's been some sort of event. It's perfectly okay to do multiple press releases. You obviously don't want to overdo it, but a lot of shows do put out multiple press releases, which is perfectly fine. So in your little press section of your project page, there's an add press release button, and they just continue to stack upon one another. And every time you post a press release, it goes to the top of /press, HollywoodFringe.org/press. So there's that benefit to it as well. But make them about something meaningful, not just like, hey, we had a great show last night. Like, that's obviously probably not what you want to do. But if it's like so-and-so enters the cast, something like that, like maybe that's a reason for a press release. If that so-and-so is someone so-and-so, So yeah, so absolutely. So hopefully that answers your question.
That does.
Absolutely, good. Anyone else on this side? I'm just going to abandon you. Okay, back to this side. Yes and then yes.
Hi, I'm Michael Greenspan. I'm a newbie, and I'm getting all the information for a plan to put on a show next year.
Great.
I have two very brief questions. One is with respect to the videography services that are offered. If you're using equity actors, is there a restriction?
Yes. There is. Check with equity. If anybody not me who is equity wants to talk about the restriction, yep.
You just have to contact equity. So make sure you contact equity.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you no.
And then they'll tell you no.
And the second question I have is...
I think you don't have to, I guess is my point.
Oh.
It's okay if I don't contact equity,
they'll find you.
I think I heard at another meeting that there are publicists for those participants who may want a professional.
Yeah.
And I guess from what I recall, there was I won't say a debate, but there was a question in terms of
skepticism.
How much money you would spend as a producer of your show.
Yes.
Versus what you can do on your own. And
be careful with publicists, because there are definitely good publicists out there that actually care about you, and then there are publicists who will send to their list and really won't get you anything, and they'll charge you $1,000 or something like that. I personally have never used a third-party publicist in anything that I've promoted, and I've done pretty well. But some people literally have no sense of marketing or publicity. And they need help. Just beware, budget conscious, and make sure when you pick a publicist that it's not just a Craigslist ad. It's like you talk to someone who has used the publicist before, and it's like, go back to the ROI, right? What's the return on my investment? If I'm paying a publicist $500, and I better get $500 of ticket sales out of that. And you need to think about how many tickets that is, and if it's realistic that you're going to get that amount of money. And then you think of because that's basically like a show and a half, right? That's a full house and a half, depending on the size of your audience, what you're charging for tickets. So think about that. Now, we do not really give in the participant packet any publicist names, because we feel that at the Fringe, you can do it without a publicist because we give you the tools. And ultimately, as we're trying to train producers here, publicity and learning how to do marketing is something you need to know, right? And it's not something you necessarily want to use this opportunity to third party. So I would, if it were me, I wouldn't hire a publicist. But you might be different. You might say, I just don't know about any of this stuff, and I need this, and I got a lot of money when somebody died in my family and I just want to throw it away, then by all means get it. Okay, but my bias is coming out. But my point is just be careful, be budget conscious, and think about return on investments. So, absolutely. Anyone else? Yes?
Hi, I'm Diane Arco. I have a show called Shattered. It's about dating, frigidity, and trauma recovery. And it's a comedy. It's a trash comedy. So I have two quick questions. The ads on the 15th, is there a time cutoff? Or
Midnight.
Is it just midnight?
Yep.
And then if we are creating fake news or facetious material like characters in our show as a press release,
yep.
I would assume putting that press releases is probably not the best idea. Or how do you best leverage those?
Oh, like you know about like fake news, like
creating something funny about a certain aspect of your show.
press releases probably not. But usually press release contain facts or like I don't know. We live in a post-fact world. But, but yeah, but maybe generally people are cute in press releases. I wouldn't necessarily like suggest that. Like if you're doing something like that, like maybe like that's where you're like blog, Tumblr sort of world. Yeah. I would avoid being cute in your press releases. But like entirely, again, calculated risk. There might be that one press person who's in the weird mood. They're like, oh, okay. But I would say no. No. So avoid cuteness in press releases. Any other questions? Yo, we're back over here. Yes. Then you. Hello.
Hi.
Your name and your show.
My name is Yosemite Walker, and I'm one of the scholarship recipients. The show called Do You Migration of the Monarch. It's the Victorian kabuki style gender transformation ritual using performance theater and abstract cabaret and wearable arts. My question, I almost forgot my question. Is there any way we can participate, like performing it during the opening party?
Oh, good question. Thank you. No, and I'll tell you why. We don't pull from the current participants for stuff like that because, like everything we do, if we pull from one, we want to pull from everyone. Like one of the things that is sort of sacred to us is that if we give opportunities, it needs to go to everyone and not just a certain amount of people. We're like kind of weirdly religious about that. It's why we say the difference between us and Coachella is in Coachella there are different fonts. There's the big font bands, the medium font bands, and the really small loser font bands, and like every one of the Fringe is the same font size. So that's the thing. So no, we don't. But honestly, the opening night party, we used to make shows and songs and dances and like big bands, and then acts would come and comedians and stuff like that. But guess what? Guess what theater people want to do at parties? Drink, talk, drink. So it's like, it was just kind of a waste of time. It became like why have these big performances on stage when people are just talking and drinking? If anyone's ever been to an award show at a Los Angeles theater, you know what I'm talking about. No one pays attention to what's going on stage because they're drinking and talking and drinking and talking. So no, we don't do that. That's a good question. Your opportunities come with things like cabaret, runway, and of course, karaoke. All of these things are opportunities that we provide you to be able to perform. But in fairness, we don't do that for the opening night party. So, thank you. Good question. I was yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Trina Spur. I have a one-woman show called Just Old Woman from Old Country. Posters.
Yes.
I saw that there's a recommended size, like 11 by 17.
Yes.
I saw something about like plastering on one wall.
Yes.
And where is that? When can we put them up? And what's the deal on other festivals?
Okay, so all I can speak to is Fringe Central, where we do provide you with poster space. So that is an option for you. Everything else is run by individual venues. So I would say go to your venue or venues and say, may I put up my poster? Where are you looking?
I'm at C.
Oh, Studio C, yeah. Ask Matt, can I put up my poster here? And he might have left open space for that. Now, we've talked for a while about having like poster walls like they do in Edinburgh, and in fact, frankly, it's a good idea. I keep forgetting about it, but like having specific places around Fringe like that there are posters, but there's nothing that we run centrally. The only place that we run where posters are available to put up is Fringe. So yeah. Yes.
I have a question about, I'm Sharon McKay. We're doing 2 plays in one performance called Rainbow Bright Carnax, and John Stamos is my baby daddy. Both immersive comedies. And my question is about the preview shows.
Yes.
So we include that on the website.
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes.
And in terms of marketing that as well, is there anything differently or?
Well, that's a good question. Why do a preview show? Yes, they show up on the website, and yes, it says preview, buy them, so people who buy tickets know that they're a preview show. You sort of get to the heart of why do a preview, or how one might do a preview, and like how do you market it differently. It's up to you. Again, everyone's running their own business. Everyone has their own strategy. Successful models for reasons to do a preview mainly include getting butts in seats. So most shows that have successful previews, or a lot of shows that have successful previews, do pay what you can for previews. Because all they care about is getting people in there, right? So your goal through friends, family, people you know, people you lasso on the street pulling against their will, that sort of thing, you just want to fill the seats. Because we're talking about connectors. It's like the more people who see your show, the more likelihood if they like it, they're going to go out and tell other people that they like it, which is really one of the great goals of previews. That and bringing in press. Another is to use that time leading up to it is like, we have a press preview, come to our press preview. So I would say use it from the perspective of putting the most amount of people in seats. Use it from the perspective of trying to get press in there. Don't use it necessarily as another standard way to make your nut. Like that comes later. And by make your nut, I mean like charging money and making a lot of money on those performances. Mainly, your number one goal is to fill a house by any means necessary. Well, you know, there's some things you shouldn't. We won't talk about those here. Does that answer your question? Yes. Great. Any other questions? Yes.
How about like a promotional merchandise sales?
Okay, good question. The question is promotional merchandise sales. Ultimately, you're going to need a place to sell them, which is probably in the venue that you're performing in. Where are you performing?
Complex.
Complex, great. So you talk to Monica and you say, after my show, I want to sell merchandise. And she'll give you permission or not, probably will, to see, yeah, you can do that right here and you can sell your merchandise at the show. So ultimately, that's a venue question. So talk to your venue if you want to sell merchandise and they will probably help you. So yes, that answer your question? Great. Over here? Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes?
I guess it seems like a stupid question, but I just want to make sure. The most important URL that we have to put in the posters and postcards and stuff like that is the Fringe, our
yes,
URL.
it is not HollywoodFringe.org, although be a good person to put that in there. But like ultimately, it's your URL. And
URL
to your show page.
Yeah.
So it's HFF. So everyone should know, and it's on your show page, what your short URL is, because HollywoodFringe.org is really long. HFF17.org is your short URL / the number of your show. And where do you get the number of your show? Go to your show's page, look in the URL window, and you'll see a number right there, and that's the number of your show. So HFF17.org / number is your short show, and that's what you should be promoting. Yes, Jeffrey?
On that topic, you might want to do like what I do is take my show name and just buy the .com for it for, it's $10 a month or whatever.
It's great.
And then link that. My show is Lights, Camera, Lila, so I have lightscameralila.com, and I just assign that to my Hollywood Fringe page. Because it's easier to remember and it helps the branding too, rather than a show number.
That's a super idea. It's technical, and you'll probably, okay.
It's real easy. It's
right.
Real easy to do.
But basically, when you buy a domain, everyone's domain, google.com domain, you need to go to a registrar, like, don't use GoDaddy, they kill elephants. Go to namecheap.com or something like that, a not awful company like namecheap.com, and they're not giving me any money, I just don't like GoDaddy. And you put in the name of the domain you want to buy, you buy your domain, it's like your real estate on the web, and there is an option to point that domain, like google.com, probably not that, to your Hollywood Fringe page, right? So if your show's name is 3 Zebras, I don't know what that show's about, probably 3 Zebras, and you buy 3zebras.com, then you point 3zebras.com to your Hollywood Fringe page. It's a little technical, but it's not something I'm sure everyone in this room can probably figure this out. And in your registrar, namecheap.com, not GoDaddy, we'll probably have a help article that teaches you how to do that as well. It's a really good idea, because then like 3zebras.com is a much better promotional tool, I hate to say it, but it's true, than HFF17.org / 3572, right? So think about it, it's a great idea. I've never even heard that. Yes?
Again, Cooper Howell, which is called If You Seeking Me with the Confessions of a sex addict as told with the music of Amy Winehouse. So I have merchandise, but I kind of want to put Hollywood Fringe on it. Can I use the Hollywood Fringe logo?
Logo, yes.
On the...
Go crazy.
Really?
Yes. Now, that's a good question. We have rights. What you can and cannot use. You can use the logo. You can do whatever the hell you want to do to the logo.
Right.
We don't. That's why we made it so generic.
Oh.
Because you can make it a different color. You can distress it. You can do whatever you want to do. What you can't use without permission are the mascots, because they're actually owned by the
things you're wearing on your shirt.
Right. These guys.
Okay.
You can't use these guys without permission. For example, on any universal list, because technically we don't own them. They're actually owned by our original graphic designer who retains the rights to them. So whenever we want to use these for someone that's not us, we need to say, hey, Gavin's a really nice guy. Gavin, this guy's use the French. Usually, if it's a partner, it'll say okay, but it doesn't generally open up to the masses. So, like this, good. This, bad. So yes. You're welcome. Any other questions? So this is a speed round. We have 4 minutes. If you have a question, raise your hand. 1. This is going to be easy. There's only 1. Okay, speed round. 2 questions. Oh, 1, 2. This is it. 1, 2, 3. 3 questions. That's it.
I heard about the best of Fringe.
Yes.
How does that work? Is it related to like Fringe?
It's called the Producers Encore Awards now. The Producer Encores is run by Matt Quinn, who you saw over here, as well as several venues here in Hollywood and around town. It is one of the great awards you can get coming out of that. During the Fringe, Encore's producers are wandering around seeing shows. And at the end of the Fringe, at the award ceremony, they will stand up and say, we are giving these shows extensions in our venues. And usually the extensions are rent-free 50-50. So, well, like you'll take 50-50 of the gross, minus a fee usually, something like that. It depends on the venue. But this is a great opportunity to extend your show past the Fringe, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about encores at the next town hall, so make sure you come to that. And Matt will give a little spiel about the encores as well. But that's that is an opportunity to come out of the Fringe. You had a second?
Yeah, the LAPIF, the woman's.
LAFBI. Yep.
Does it have to be a genetic woman to apply for it?
My guess is no, but I would contact them. No, they're incredibly open-minded people, so I would seriously doubt. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, contact LFBI. I'm sure it'll be fun. Yeah. No. A lot of people are running. They're very, very cool. So yes, absolutely. But contact them. And there's one question over here.
Just in preparation for next year. Is it required to obtain insurance, and is there a difference if you use equity actors in terms of insurance rates, what you need to do?
Reinsurance. Insurance is always a good idea. Most venues will help you with insurance. So like we suggest you get insurance and are covered. God knows we are incredibly well covered by insurance. If you're looking for some insurance options, you can contact support@hollywoodfringe.org and we'll help you set up. Fractured Atlas is one that rolls off the tongue, as well as Lorianne Hart, who provides service to us at Hart Insurance, and she has specific packages for fringers. But a lot of venues have policies that also cover. So talk to your venue about whether you're covered by insurance. When people sue a Fringe show, they will sue you, they will sue your venue, and they'll sue us. God, that does not happen here. Thank God. But like, this is one of the reasons, like someone slips and falls and breaks their arm and they're litigious, then yeah, this is when you want insurance. So it's wise to have, but also check with your venue and they might have it for you. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen.